Welcome to our video, The Role of Tourism in Wildlife Conservation Efforts. In this exploration, we'll uncover how tourism not only enhances the experience of travelers but also plays a crucial part in protecting and preserving biodiversity around the globe. Join us as we discuss the financial support tourism provides for conservation programs, the empowerment of local communities, and the importance of sustainable practices that foster coexistence between wildlife and visitors. We'll also delve into the vital impact of ecotourism, awareness initiatives, and ongoing research in safeguarding our planet's precious wildlife. Let's dive into how a responsible approach to tourism can be a powerful force for good in wildlife conservation. 1. Revenue for conservation programs. Wildlife tourism generates substantial revenue that can be reinvested in conservation programs. Entrance fees from national parks, safari tours, and wildlife reserves are critical funding sources for wildlife protection, habitat restoration, and anti-poaching efforts. For instance, the fees paid by tourists visiting Kenya's Masai Mara or Tanzania's Serengeti contribute directly to maintaining these protected areas and funding conservation projects. In Kenya, the revenue from safari tourism is instrumental in funding anti-poaching patrols, wildlife monitoring, and community conservation programs. This financial support has been crucial in safeguarding critical habitats and protecting species such as elephants and rhinos. 2. Community involvement and empowerment. Tourism offers local communities an opportunity to become active participants in conservation efforts. Many wildlife conservation projects rely on local knowledge and involvement, and tourism allows community members to benefit economically from preserving wildlife. In Namibia, community-based wildlife conservation initiatives enable local communities to manage wildlife reserves and receive tourism revenue in exchange for protecting wildlife. This model has been crucial in the resurgence of species like black rhinos and elephants. By creating economic incentives, tourism encourages local communities to safeguard wildlife and natural resources. 3. Sustainable tourism practices. Wildlife tourism encourages sustainable travel practices, especially in areas where maintaining biodiversity is crucial. Many operators focus on low-impact, eco-friendly activities such as guided wildlife tours, birdwatching, and nature hikes that minimize negative effects on ecosystems. Costa Rica's commitment to ecotourism has led to the protection of vast rainforest areas, making it a hub for biodiversity conservation. Tour operators there emphasize leaving a minimal footprint and educating travelers on environmental preservation, ensuring that habitats remain intact for future generations. 4. Raising awareness and education. Tourism raises awareness about wildlife conservation issues by exposing travelers to the beauty of nature and the challenges faced by endangered species. Many wildlife tours incorporate educational elements, where tourists learn about the importance of protecting wildlife and the threats they face. In Botswana's Okavango Delta, tourists can participate in educational safaris that teach about the delicate balance of the ecosystem and the role that species like lions, wild dogs, and elephants play in maintaining it. Through these experiences, travelers often become ambassadors for wildlife conservation. 5. Funding for research and monitoring. The funds generated by wildlife tourism support scientific research, essential for the long-term health of wildlife populations. Monitoring the behaviors, movements, and health of animals helps conservationists develop effective strategies for protection. In Yellowstone National Park, tourism supports research efforts to monitor wolf populations, aiding park rangers in managing the reintroduction of wolves into the ecosystem. This research is indispensable in ensuring the sustainability of wildlife populations. 6. Combating poaching and illegal wildlife trade. Tourism can help combat illegal wildlife trade and poaching by providing economic incentives to local communities to protect animals. In South Africa's Kruger National Park, tourism revenue funds anti-poaching units that protect rhinos, elephants, and other vulnerable species. The visibility of the park as a tourist destination increases global awareness of poaching issues and calls for stronger protections. By making wildlife a primary economic asset, there's a natural incentive to safeguard species for long-term benefits. 7. Promoting sustainable practices among tourists. Responsible wildlife tourism encourages tourists to be mindful of their environmental footprint. This includes minimizing waste, respecting local wildlife, and choosing tour operators who emphasize sustainability and conservation. In Madagascar, tourism supports initiatives that protect unique biodiversity hotspots, such as rainforests and coral reefs. Tourists are educated on how their behavior, like avoiding single-use plastics and not disturbing wildlife, helps protect the environment, creating a market for responsible tourism. 8. Conservation through ecotourism. Ecotourism focuses on responsible travel to natural areas, ensuring that tourism directly benefits the preservation of ecosystems and wildlife. In the Amazon rainforest, ecotourism helps protect one of the world's most biodiverse ecosystems. Tourists visit with the understanding that their presence supports efforts to protect the rainforest from illegal deforestation and exploitation. This sustainable alternative to resource extraction is crucial in regions where biodiversity is threatened. 9. Supporting breeding and reintroduction programs. Tourism can also help fund and promote breeding and reintroduction programs for endangered species. These programs aim to increase population numbers and reintroduce species into their natural habitats. The World Wildlife Fund, WWF, supports breeding programs for tigers in India, where tourists can visit wildlife reserves that contribute funds to breeding and habitat restoration. Such efforts are vital in ensuring the survival of species on the brink of extinction. 10. Long-term sustainability. When managed responsibly, tourism creates a sustainable model for wildlife conservation that can persist over time. Instead of exploiting resources, it supports long-term conservation goals, providing an economic reason to preserve landscapes and wildlife. In Botswana's Chobe National Park, a community-driven tourism model has successfully promoted sustainable wildlife management while benefiting local communities economically. This ensures that wildlife remains an asset for the long term, providing economic incentives for its protection.